next year's responsibilities. So we're using up time before it's even gifted to us. And so we fill our mind with too much. So mental strength means, yes, you can think about those things, but don't let it overtake the moment that you're gifted with today. What's important for today? What can we accomplish today? So that tonight when you go to bed and you tap the bottom of your feet, you can say, thank you for where I've been today. And tomorrow I look forward to my new gifts and stuff. Knowledge, that's where your knowledge comes from, is in here. But remember I said it at the first session we had, knowledge isn't something you read, you keep it in your mind, you leave it there because it's your knowledge, and so it kind of rots in there if you don't share it. But if knowledge is so good that you see it, you feel it, you have it in your heart, it's so good that you have to repeat it. Somebody else likes what you had to say, then they say it to somebody else. That's when it's knowledge. But it's not if you keep it to yourself. Otherwise it's going to rot and stuff, Okay. Okay, so the next slide, please. Yeah. So here's the full thing. So all 4 families have been taught to respect and share their gifts. They are to take care of the gifts for the ones who are not born yet. That's that 7th-generation thinking. Let us pray that all descendants of the 4 families follow the sacred teaching of harmony. Yeah. So you'll see that model. So it works both ways. So you look at the inside. Yeah. So you look at the center. See where the colors are? That's us individually. That small one. That's us. So before we expect the nation to be better, we have to build our own. Are we spiritually, culturally strong? Are we emotionally, socially caring? Are we as an individual physically, and economically, do I have a good relationship with money or how to survive? Do I share what I have? Am I mentally, well? Am I, politically involved? And it really is. I really like, as I said, I like American, politics. I listened to President Obama give his speech at one of the universities, and it was just amazing what he was telling them. He said, you know how you can make change? You vote. Because if you don't vote, and he went on and on and on and on. So even though we don't like politics as it stands, maybe, then we can't expect any changes if if we're not savvy enough to listen to the different worldviews, And unfortunately what happens in our communities, because they're small, if a relative of ours goes in, whether they're ready or not, we're going to vote for them because we want them to get in, even though they're not going to be good for the community. You know what I mean? And unfortunately we've lost that right. Then it builds out, then you can build out to grow if you're not spiritually strong, then look to be spiritually strong. Look to be emotionally strong, physically and mentally. Then you go out to your community so that you can show off your cultural strength. You're socializing, you're caring, and making sure there's social events, because that's what's happening in our communities. We put more casinos in our communities than we do awesome playgrounds, nature hiking walks and trails, you know what I mean? Those climbing places and stuff for our kids to enjoy, even places for teenagers to just have a little bonfire and be together, but no, we're going to put them in our casinos and stuff, I don't mean to be harsh on that, but I see more of that growing in our community than I do the things that are needed. When Bernard Richard was going to our communities, one of the recommendations we made was, let's help us to get rid of all the plastic in our communities, those plastic wading pools. They're dangerous. Or those jumping things. Yeah, trampolines, even though there's good exercise, but we can do that without that thing. You know what I mean? We can go in the woods or something. Let's make those old-fashioned, swings from 2 trees and you know what I mean? It's natural, yeah, but just recycling things as opposed to things we have to buy that our parents can't afford, and stuff. Let's make an ice rink. Let's make there's just so much to do that if we started getting rid of those unhealthy things, then maybe we can go back to basics and be natural again and commit to that. And it also works the other way out. So either way, nationally or as a nation, as a community, as an individual, we have a responsibility to the global well-being.